pandemic has exacerbated all of the stressors in those communities that are experiencing the most.
I found out. Show y'all a couple high ground retapes. Hear me? A couple. Let's go over here.
Her own town, which is growing and festering. Again, I think she should watch her residents. She should watch her children, and she should probably listen to those residents who are saying enough is enough.
Amen. I feel your frustration, and hopefully these leaders will tap into that, and they will at some point.
I want this Momo map. First person. Okay, that's enough. I need bloody murder.
White people.
Hold up, yo.
I'd like to ask you a favor. Please stop asking for forgiveness.
Will White House officials be at the rally tomorrow?
There will be several White House officials at the rally.
Will those officials, or will you be there, for example?
I will be there.
Will you and other White House officials be wearing masks at the rally?
It's a personal choice. I won't be wearing a mask, and I can't speak for my colleagues.
And why won't you wear a mask? Is it sort of a personal political statement? Is it because the president will be disappointed in you if you don't wear a mask?
It's a personal decision. I'm tested regularly. I feel that it's safe for me not to be wearing a mask, and I'm in compliance with CDC guidelines, which are recommended but not required.
And if I can ask you about last night, the president tweeted out some fake videos, one of which was labeled manipulated media by Twitter. Why is the president sharing fake videos on Twitter about two pilots who are obviously showing a lot of love for one another? It seems as though he's exploiting children to make some sort of crass political point. Why is he sharing fake videos?
Y'all know what? Forget about it.
He was making a point that CNN has direct.
I got a couple 1v1 maps, you heard?
The city of Portland, Oregon erupting into its 50th
some is OG, some is garbage.
Demonstrators outside a federal building dispersed by Homeland Security agents using tear gas and flash grenades. Local and city officials say the presence of federal officers is escalating the violence and that the city...
I barely even know how to do high ground retape, no cap though.
Last week, we were seeing the de-escalation of the violence. We were seeing things calm down.
I'm done. I said let's see.
The intervention of federal officers reignited.
All y'all want to do is just... I messed up, no cap.
Secretary of Homeland Security Ken Cuccinelli joins me now. What do you say to the mayor and the governor of Oregon, both of whom are saying federal troops should not be there? Well,
I'm not doing that high ground retape. There go easy high ground retape. Just do what I do, then just add random stuff. There go a second one.
And they're looking for someone
Yo,
to blame.
I gotta turn
who
these.
They always want to blame the president.
This off.
The reality is we've seen all around the country where you advance responsible policing in the face of violence, the violence recedes. That has been true across the country. And Mayor Wheeler's comments, he's making up reality there. He wants to tell you that things were calming down in Portland after 45 straight days of violence. And suddenly, the fact that people
actually, y'all, I'm gonna show y'all how to build a map. What type of map, though? Let's see. Probably a 1v1 map. That wouldn't be that bad, would it?
But to as many cities as we can. State and local officials have most of the responsibility.
I can show y'all how to make this map.
Advance the cause of peace in the streets. The president has insisted.
I could see that like I'm done. I'm finna build it all the way up to it.
Also had this to say at those remarks made just a short time ago.
The words and actions from President Trump and the Department of Homeland Security have shown that this is an attack on our democracy. Keep your troops in your own buildings or have them leave our city.
An attack on our democracy, that's pretty strong stuff. How do you respond?
Well, there are people attacking our democracy, and they're in the streets of Portland with the encouragement of Mayor Wheeler. and they get to roam free by and large without consequence. Some of them are getting arrested, small numbers. We're doing our part on the federal side, but we don't have jurisdiction over the whole city, of course. You look back at Mayor Wheeler's history in Portland.
There.
He encouraged and allowed attacks on an ICE facility there 2 years ago. Seems like he regretted that as if it was a mistake after the fact, but here we see him repeating it in the streets of Portland again for the last 7 weeks, where he's encouraged these folks to come out and use the legitimate concerns following the George Floyd murder to mask violence, looting, and not protesting. I mean, let's be really clear. That's not what these people are coming to do. They're coming to attack our democracy at its base. They don't respect elections. They don't respect the law, and they want to tear it all down. And Mayor Wheeler is right there with them.
But are DHS officers, are they only guarding federal buildings, or have they moved out into the streets to sort of clear streets? One of the complaints is that they are using tear gas, which under Oregon law right now is not to be used against this crowd.
What it really means to live like a golden.
So we have jurisdiction that starts with an organization in the Department of Homeland Security called Federal Protective Service.
If you want to
they are
live
responsible
in
for
the
protecting
golden,
federal buildings.
what it really
and
means to live like the
CBP
golden,
and ICE and other law
like a
enforcement officials from around the
golden, like
Department
a
of Homeland
golden,
Security are
like
there
a
to support
golden there,
the
like a...
FPS.
Alright, let me show you how to make a 1v1 map. You lefties, boppy.
The violence directed at federal officers. They are there to protect federal property, to protect federal officers, as best we can to coordinate with the Portland Bureau. To the extent those officers are allowed to cooperate in trying to keep the peace. That doesn't mean we're confined to federal property per se. We have arrested people for attacks on both property and law enforcement off the property because of jurisdiction to do that. Everywhere. The governor of Oregon have to finally pick up their responsibilities. We established so much of it. America's a big place in the federal government, even though DHS is the largest law enforcement.
What you really need to live like a golden.
Still only has so many. And so we will do what we can.
Yo, and I'm gonna finish this video.
We're doing it more left, but sure.
A few seconds left, but how long do you expect your officers to be there?
We expect our officers to be there and arresting violent criminals as long as they're coming out with the intent of committing violence in and around in Portland and where we have jurisdiction. However long this goes.
Ken Cuccinelli, the acting Deputy Homeland Security Secretary. Thanks very much for coming on.
Good to be with you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I want to grab this one. Get this floor. Get this. And get this. Don't forget
President Trump's own party, who are actively trying to get their fellow Republicans to vote for Joe Biden in November. Mary Bruce talked with the Lincoln Project and 2 other groups of Republicans rejecting Trump in 2020 and going after him on the airwaves. But will their efforts make a difference at the ballot box? Mary Bruce has this story.
At first glance, they may look like any other campaign ads.
America knows Joe Biden.
But what makes these ads unique? They're being made by members of the president's own party.
Trump doesn't have the strength to lead, nor the character to admit it.
It's an unprecedented move. Brutal, blistering ads from a group of Republican strategists intent on taking down President Trump.
We pull no punches. We don't tell people about Donald Trump. We illustrate why he is unfit for office and how his actions, regardless of what they may be, can further illustrate his inability.
That's what it means to live like a golden. Now y'all wanna get this. Put it in the middle, you already know what it really means to live like a gold. Y'all didn't know y'all could dance in the air. We moonwalking YouTube. Oh, just one. Let go. Okay, after that, what y'all wanna do is just go all the way in the sky. Just like a little, just somewhere. Like, yeah, like right here. You only want one, y'all. Get purple pump and blue AR. My head hurts, but I'm gonna still record just because of y'all. I'm gonna show you how to put it on no drop balloon. There y'all go, y'all. Oh, now the settings for this. It's y'all wanna put this on 0 minutes. Go over here, put this on. Now what y'all wanna do is put it on. There I go, y'all. I know they do this. Alright, after y'all do all of them, boom, it's gonna be like this. Now what y'all gonna do, we gotta take it down to 4 in the morning. Then, there you go, yo island. So, yeah. Really instant and easy island. Y'all don't have to add this stuff I'm finna add. I'm just gonna add stuff. No, I need wide, bruh. This white. This have to be white, yo. I'm gonna use blue then. You can never say you're not scared or nothing, but you could be a brave heart. Brave heart says, don't fall in love with me, I'll break hearts. That's how I go, bro. I know it's goated. You don't have to tell me. But it's gonna be dookie after I add this, y'all. Let's see if it's gonna be dookie.
On unwillingness to serve in the role.
It's called the Lincoln Project, and co-founder Reed Galen tells us many of the ads are intended for an audience of one.
Hey, Donald.
The goal, to get under the president's skin.
There is no small amount of joy that it brings to upset President Trump directly. There is a method to the madness.
And they aren't subtle.
You've probably heard this before, but it was smaller than we expected.
They're trying to beat Trump at his own game, and the strategy appears to be working. Take, for example, this ad mocking the president's performance at the annual West Point graduation.
It's time we
no,
talk
what y'all
about
do
this.
is just
Trump
get
is
this.
not well.
That's it.
Just days later, at his Tulsa campaign rally, the president went off script for 13 minutes defending that West Point appearance.
Because I'm wearing leather bottom shoes, which is good if you're walking on flat surfaces. It's not good for ramps.
For the Lincoln Project, that was a success.
It's not about trolling the president, because as one of my partners says, you're not trolling if you get someone on the hook.
Needling the president is one thing. The big question, will any of this sway voters? The latest polls show the president is trailing former Vice President Joe Biden by double digits, but he still has 84% support among Republicans. And the president calls the Lincoln Project a bunch of losers and a disgrace to honest Abe. But Trump's handling of the pandemic and the national reckoning on racism is clearly taking a toll on the president politically. And that's a positive sign for Republican strategist Tim Miller, an advisor on Jeb Bush's campaign who has remained a fervent never-Trumper.
There are millions of Donald Trump voters out there that we can persuade still, that are not the red hat wearing voters that show up to his rallies.
His organization, Republican Voters Against Trump, is trying to make sure the voices of those frustrated Republicans are being heard.
I voted for Donald Trump. My bad, fam.
It's okay to put country over party. In fact, it's imperative to do that.
If Joe Biden drops out and the DNC runs a tomato can, I will vote for the tomato can.
We can help nudge them to show up to his rallies.
His organization, Republican Voters Against Trump, is trying to make sure the voices of those frustrated Republicans are being heard.
I voted for Donald Trump. My bad, fam.
It's okay to put country over party. In fact, it's imperative to do that.
If Joe Biden drops out and the DNC runs a tomato can, I will vote for the tomato can.
We can help nudge them over into Joe Biden's camp using these messengers from people in their community rather than kind of wagging our finger at them.
I do believe that a philosophically driven center-right party is healthy for the United States. We do not have that right now.
They are now broadening their scope, targeting Republican senators who have sided with the president.
Every time they had a choice between America and Trump, they chose Trump.
It's not about just Donald Trump, although he is the prime target. It is about all of those people who failed their oath of office.
But you'd be gutting your own party.
Well, it's not our party anymore.
And I guess that's what it comes down to then.
For us, it's not even about the party, it's about the country.
And if they succeed, what then? Some Republicans fighting for Biden are hoping for a return to bipartisanship.
I believe we have a chance with Joe Biden to be at the table.
Rosario Marin, the U.S. Treasurer under President George W. Bush, is part of a brand new organization, 43 Alumni for Biden.
We are better than this. We as a party are better than this. men because to serve that party. Remember, many Republicans used to say, I'm going to hold my nose and vote for Trump. Well, look what
I'm a Bray Hart.
As she watches Trump's response to this pandemic, Marin says she's more convinced than ever that her party,
don't fall in love with me, you break hearts.
At a young age, cannot survive another 4 years of President Trump.
And what do we have here? The greatest nation in the world on its knees because of ill leadership. We can't have 4 more years of this.
Lots of infighting there, and Mary Bruce joins us now from Washington. Now, these groups are certainly pulling no punches. What's the president and also his campaign saying in response to this? Any reaction from Biden's camp?
Well, Lindsay, no surprise here. The president has had some choice words for these groups and some rather interesting, colorful nicknames. He has called them losers. He's called these Republicans human scum, and he's been quick to point out that many of the Republicans behind these ads, behind these groups trying to take him on, are Republicans who tried and failed to beat him back in 2016. But these groups wear these names as a badge of honor. Now, as for Joe Biden's campaign, no surprise here, they welcome this help. And in many ways, while Joe Biden tries to maintain a bit of a squeaky clean image, these groups are able to do what Biden's campaign can't. They're able to try and take on the president, playing his own game. They can go a little bit low and hit Trump where it hurts, Lindsay.
And there's also some family drama here involving Kellyanne Conway. Explain how that's playing out in this effort.
Yeah, how's this for a dynamic? Kellyanne Conway's husband, George Conway, is one of the co-founders of the Lincoln Project. He has long been critical of the president, and now he is effectively trying to get his wife's boss fired. It certainly must make for an interesting dynamic around the old dinner table.
Yes, to be a fly on the wall in that household. Mary Bruce, thank you so much.
Hey everybody, I'm Laura Trump here with a special offer just for you. President?
Welcome to Hannity. We begin approximately.
Y'all hear what this brother said. This video is brought to you by TaterReport.com. TaterReport.com is my brand new website where you get all the accurate information, all of your news, one place, 100% for free. Our official launch date is on Monday, July the 20th, but you can go on right now and subscribe and donate to the website. It's more than a website, it's a movement. Go on right now, the link is in the description section, TaterReport.com. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, so you get notifications anytime I go live or make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to my channel, like this video,
Bray
comment
Hart
on this video, share this video.
Cars. I finally don't fall in love with me. He break hearts.
So I know that everybody has probably seen at this point the brother,
break
the black
your heart.
Man. There was a police officer. Shockingly enough to the liberals, there are black police officers, but he's a black police officer. His color really doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. But for the sake of argument, I think he
what I did,
literally
break your heart. That's
broke down the
about a
ideology
murder.
of these false, phony,
it can never be nothing you're scared of.
Inconsistent, hypocritical white liberals.
Yo, I'm gonna be doing clan trials, so y'all better friend me.
Most people with a connected brainstem can see that some of these BLM protests, it's not.
I hope you miss me. I know you laughed, but I want you to forgive me. I really tried to do my best when you was with me.
Why in the world
but then got tricky.
Is a group of people who claim they have white privilege, a group of people who claim that it's impossible to know the black struggle.
Okay, y'all, I'm finna do it real quick. I'm going
leading a movement about black people
so,
in the black struggle.
like the video, subscribe,
they
and
are out here on the
we out.